maybe.
Okay. So, after the events of the sacking of Leavenworth,
Exactly. Sir.
well, it's basically what you've done. You've turned up, you've killed everything, and stolen anything that isn't not nailed down. Basically, leaving the ruin of that was the ruin of Leavenworth into literally nothing. It's just a pile of stones now.
I mean, for the purposes of anyone off camera, we stole everything that wasn't nailed down. And if it was nailed down, we unnailed it, stole the nails as well.
In the process of doing this has taken you 5 hours. In the process of doing this, towards the end of that 5-hour period, as the sun is setting, I'm going to make a roll. And I'm actually going to do it this time properly. Pieetrr, Tarkus.
Yeah.
As you're concluding and you're moving further and further out from the center itself, being diligent about the kind of things that you're finding, as you're moving out, you see that there's a ruined house just outside the confines of the settlement on the far side. It's on the school side of town. It's a couple of minutes walk outside of the main built-up area of what was once the village of, or the town of Leavenworth, and you spot it, and you almost think to yourself, "Nah, we've got enough." You're about to turn, you catch sound that sounds a lot from radio.
Am I the only one that hears this?
Yeah, because you've kind of all dispersed off to go and get your own bits and pieces, and you're the closest one to the building.
I turn around. And I say, guys, I think there's someone over there moving. Should we take a look, or?
Yeah, let's go and rip that apart and take anything that isn't nailed down.
Still got space.
Okay, the house itself is the top level. It's a 2-story building. It's set separately to the rest of the town. There's like a road that leads out of Leavenworth, and it's set off of that. The top part of the building itself, the roof is destroyed, and the walls have crumbled at the top. But the lower section of the house seems to be largely intact.
All right, we approach cautiously.
Okay.
I assume.
As you move towards the property, as you get closer, you can hear that sound. That's kind of like, you can hear somebody singing. You can hear the sound of a female voice, and it sounds like it's coming over a radio.
I'm trying to find what was the cause of movement that I saw earlier.
Okay. Do you want to make a little roll for me then?
Okay, what kind of roll?
Let's get a character sheet up. Let's have Good Boy, so I don't mess around with everyone else's characters.
Good Boy is your character by now. Like, it's just.
I mean, yeah.
Accept then.
Good Boy, do a perception and I think probably survival.
What did 1d20?
2d20.
Oh, okay.
So you see a little bit of motion, and from the structure itself, and you also get a scent in the air, a smell like something cooking. It's a definite kind of like scent of smoke and food.
Is it like a
And
good
while-
smell or is it like a burnt
Yeah,
smell?
it's a good smell. It's a good smell, and you're pretty much on the, you're starting to get to the point where you're starting to get a bit peckish again, and when that smell hits your nostrils, your stomach goes blah, 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 blah.
All right. Even though my stomach goes blah blah blah, blah, I'm still like cautious about who is in the building. It might be a raider. It might be anything. So I keep going cautiously. Hope the guys are doing the same.
I mean, I'm
Okay.
just watching him at this point.
You're just watching.
I am. I'm stood with them. I'm just watching him.
The classic Ralph move.
And I'm gonna walk up to him and go, "Are you gonna knock on the fucking door or what?"
How
So
big
wait-
a house is this? Is it on its own?
It's on its own. It's not a massive house by any stretch of imagination. You imagine it's probably got 2, maybe 3 rooms downstairs, and then in an upstairs area which is mostly destroyed. And as you got closer, you can as you get closer to it, you can all smell the smoke and possibly smell the food cooking.
So why don't myself and Morg go on the back, and you two guys go in the front, and we will do a pincer movement.
Okay, I'm
Is
gonna
it-
walk up to the front door. Knock
is
on the
it-
front door.
Is it like an intact house? Like where
See-
does see the movement from a window?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sure. We can do that. I'll go from the front.
Okay, Morg, you okay with that plan?
Morgul nod. You okay with it?
Like I said, I'm just gonna knock on the front door once they have skedaddled around the side.
Then he'll walk, and as he's walking, he'll pull out his machete.
Okay.
All right. So
You approach
am I
property.
knocking?
Go on, Peter.
Am I knocking? Okay. But you were about to narrate, so go ahead.
No, you tell me because
All right. I knock on the front door.
okay. Meet you. There is a knock on the front door.
I am surprised. I didn't expect that. So I'm moving to answer
Okay.
first straight away.
The door opens, and you are confronted by. Well, you're confronted by a human male standing at the door with. Is it Rack that's with him?
Yeah.
So there's a human male and a ghoul standing at the door. Boys, you are confronted by a Mr. Handy robot. Can you describe what the Mr. Handy robot looks like?
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty much content with the photograph I found. Like the key points are that it should be discolored, like black, presumably from flames, like
it's
no
charred.
color at all. Yeah, exactly. And also, probably like between some of the optic like units, let's say, there are hooks that have been placed there, probably used to hang something. You can kind of see that they are probably red or something, but very old paint, like it's nothing new. It looks like a very used robot, very dirty, let's say, not very sanitary at all. Other than that, it's pretty standard, flamer, the buzzsaw, what you'd expect from a Mr. Handy robot, more or less, except for those two characteristics.
Okay, so someone's just knocked on your door. You open the door, and there's two people
Yeah.
standing in front of you.
Then I greet them and I say, "Oh, masters, living ones, kind of, I guess." I turn towards Tarkus. "Are you hungry, maybe? Food has just been prepared."
How long have you been alone?
For us?
"For you. Aren't you hungry?"
Were you expecting me?
"No, but I'm always expecting for someone to try my stuff. I'm in lack of living masters lately."
What happened to the previous masters?
"Why don't you come and find out? They're waiting in the kitchen."
All right.
I'm literally going to turn and look at him, pat him on the shoulder as if to go in.
All right, let's see what your masters have to say.
2 seconds. Mog! Moggy, 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 mog!
Is the back door locked, Chris?
Is
I
this your
take it,
mason
is there a
call?
back door?
Yeah, there's a back door.
Is it locked?
It is not locked.
Can we hear?
You can hear sounds coming from the inside. You can
Yeah.
hear this conversation, muffled from the inside.
And can we hear the shout of Morg?
Yeah.
Let's go in the back door.
Be
Okay.
nice.
Be nice. to this stuff.
Nice.
So,
Well, I'm not rotating, because I have the peripheral vision and all that stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm just kind of reversing into the house,
okay,
probably going towards the kitchen, leading them on.
okay. So you reverse through what is effectively the sitting area, the main sitting room. It is functionally destroyed. There's almost nothing. There's broken furniture in here. You reverse through that room into the kitchen. The kitchen is actually probably remarkably tidy in comparison to anything else in this building. Like, there isn't anything on the floor. You wouldn't say it was necessarily clean, but by wasteland standards, it's probably one of the nicer kitchens you've ever seen. And I'm imagining you guys kind of like come in through the back door at the same time that the party from the front arrives. The kitchen itself is well lit. There is a radio playing. There is what probably once was a fully functional cooker that has been adjusted to cook in a different method. It's basically a campfire in an old oven. The work surfaces actually are pretty clean and tidy. There's some evidence that someone's been cooking in here recently. There is a table in the middle of the kitchen, and 4 chairs and 4 skeletons sitting in the chairs. Their clothes are basically rags. They've been degraded over a long period of time. They are sitting around the table. They look like they've been arranged in such a way that they're sitting up ready to eat a meal. On the table, there are 4 perfectly made dinners.
I'm going to look straight to this robot and go, how long have you been alone?
It's been a long time, approximately 1.5 years without a master.
Cool. Would you like to come live with us?
Oh, certainly. It'd be my pleasure. But don't you want to eat first?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to wait for someone else to eat first, then I will eat to make sure it is not poisoned. Actually, doesn't matter to me. I don't get poisoned. That's a really bad point. I'm going to talk in. I've just realized poison doesn't affect me.
Wait, if he eats something and it's poisonous, can he tell? Or no?
No.
Nope.
No. Tastes good to me. Sorry, mate. Must be bad for you. Yeah, I'll make it quick. Bang.
Look at the corpses, like they look very old, right?
Yeah, they look like they've been in this state for a while.
Or,
A year and a half or much longer?
Difficult to tell They could be a year and a half old. Yeah.
Okay. So what did your old masters die of?
I think you're under the wrong impression that those were my older masters.
Ah,
That's
right. Who
not
are
the
these?
case. I just found this house. It has a kitchen that works, and I was waiting for a new master to appear. I'm wondering sometimes until I have to butcher stuff and hunt in order to get ingredients for my cooking. I'm programmed to do so. I have no choice. But I'm in a lack of living masters lately. So I found those skeletons here. I haven't touched them. I just used the kitchen utilities.
Good enough for
What
me. I'm going to dig in.
I'm
what
digging
did
in.
what did you cook for us?
Ah,
What have you cooked? Whatever
probably
you want.
the super mutant will enjoy this. It's human meat mostly, raider meat.
Mmm.
I mean, this isn't going to stop me. I don't think there's any issue with. Actually, can I eat it because ghoul?
You
I
can.
think Ralph was like, it's like it has the biting smell.
I'm not going to eat that. Right. Okay. Fucking marvelous. Right.
It
Another
smells
picky
great though.
master.
I
It
tell
smells
you what,
great and it looks brilliant. Like it's on a proper plate, and
there's a
it's
couple
been
with
really
Hale.
nicely presented. It
There's only
looks
one of us
really
with a
beautiful.
cannibal trait.
Eh?
Hmm?
There's only one of us with a cannibal trait,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't eat it either.
Oh, you can eat it. You can eat it.
All right. The smile on your face says there will be dire consequences for eating it.
Morg, it looks like it's an all-you-can-eat party. Off you
Morg!
go.
Thank
Looks like
you,
this is for
shiny
you.
metal man.
You're welcome.
And
But
then
why
Morg will
aren't the
dig
rest
in.
of you eating?
Is
Does
there
it make
is there
you-
anything without human meat?
Currently, I have no ingredients of that sort. If you bring me some, then probably I can cook them
We
for
got any
you.
rat
Okay.
roach meat left?
Anyone got
We
any rat
have
roach meat?
4 portions of vad roach meat.
I could prepare them right away, or at a later notice, whatever the masters want.
What he cooks too, for me and Ralph.
I mean, does it count as a cooking station? I don't know. If it does, I can certainly try.
It's a campfire, so you can cook at a campfire anyway.
Okay, who's eating vad roach meat and who's eating human?
I mean, I'm eating red roach because I am not getting myself ill.
Why you were so
Okay.
excited?
Morga has
A lot.
taken like
Then I found out it's not a good idea.
V, you said something, then I missed it.
yeah, Morga is going over to where the corpses are, and it's gonna take like the tattered shirts or whatever, and make it like a bib, and then sit down and start eating the human meat.
Okay. Good boy will jump up at the table and start eating one of the meals. Like jump up with two paws on the side of the table and start tucking into one of the meals.
Oh, he needs to eat. I didn't know that. Okay.
Need.
Oh, he's just eating. All right.
How is it?
It's all right.
Good.
I'm glad.
It does taste really good. It's very, very well prepared food. Like you're probably not even Morg, you're probably more used to eating food that is either not cooked or really badly cooked.
Yeah.
This is like you've stumbled upon an actually really good chef who's presented you with an exceptionally good meal. Probably the first decent meal you've had in a long time.
Morg is smacking and probably just kind of grunting and like a light pleasure of like this yummy meal for the first time. Probably
And Raph
burp
is going
several
to
times.
look at him and say, "Don't forget the meatballs. They are the dog's bollocks."
Good boy looks at you.
There's 2 there for you too.
Me no understand him.
Don't worry, you don't have to. Just have to enjoy yourself. Enjoy your food.
Cooking. What's your cooking roll going to be?
It's on page 210, I think. It's cooking a plus int plus survival.
Okay.
It says it takes 20 minutes for 10 minutes for everything I prepare. So how many portions are they going to be? Do you give me all the like 4 portions you had of cockroach meat?
Whatever we need to feed me, Bill, and
We can cook 4 and then we're gonna eat the 4th one at some point later. Is that a bad idea?
I'd hold on to one if we can hold on to one. But I'd definitely feed us before so we can sleep and go on a full stomach in the morning.
It doesn't go bad, right? Even if I cook it.
I don't know.
Rad roach meat doesn't seem to go bad. It dries out, but it doesn't seem to ever go bad.
I'd say we should just cook it, have it ready for the next time we need to
3
eat.
portions are 1 hour to cook.
Okay.
You'll be hungry. You can still change your mind.
No, I will same way.
Okay, make a roll then.
Right. As the master wishes. So how do we roll here? Here, I guess.
So at the top of your character sheet on the left-hand side, you've got your 2 little blue buttons.
Okay, yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Don't somebody call flu.
2d20s, right? Always.
Correct. Yeah. Unless you want to spend an action point
Whoops.
or a luck point. You can spend a luck point to re-roll, or you can just leave it at that.
Intelligence.
Well, I want to make a good impression, so I might as well re-roll one.
All right. Just the one?
Just one.
Okay.
He believes.
Can't botch this. So I can re-roll it the same way, actually. Right, with 1d20.
Okay. You spend an hour and cremate 3 portions of rad roach meat. They are burnt. You kind of like, to the people that are observing, he's talking as he's cooking, and he seems to be more distracted with talking with you guys and like the small talk and enjoying the company of living people that he can talk to that aren't specifically trying to take him apart. And he keeps forgetting to check the food while he's doing this, and eventually he turns around and discovers it to be cremated, to be overcooked, and tries to gloss over it. He tries to hide the fact that it's overcooked by arranging it nicely and cutting things open and moving it and like arranging it on the plate so that when it's presented to you, it doesn't look as bad as it is, but it's obviously burnt.
But I'm obviously hungry, so I'm just going to eat it anyway.
Okie. You eat it. You don't get any health benefits back from it, but it does fill you up.
What about the radiation?
And you get your radiation point. So you have to roll one. Sorry, you have to. Anyone eating who is susceptible to radiation, roll 1 combat die. If it comes up an effect,
combat die in the face.
Yes.
I'm gonna eat it as well.
That's fine.
So I'm okay, yeah?
Yeah, you're fine, and you're fine as well. Yeah. You only get a radiation off of effects, so for the faces.
Right.
Excellent.
And it's burnt, but it's not like it doesn't. It's not like it tastes bad. It's just it tastes burnt with it. That's not like in the journey coming to to this area in the first place. You probably have a lot of food that was like this. So it's not like you're not looking and thinking, "Oh, fucking hell, I'm not eating that." It's still edible. It's just not amazing. If anything, you're possibly a little bit disappointed because it looked like it was going to be amazing.
Looked like he was useful, but he's not. Okay. While he's doing that, can we have a scrounge around the house and see what else is about?
That you can, yeah. There isn't really an awful lot here. Like the kitchen is the only thing that's the only location that's of any benefit, and there isn't. This place has already been picked clean.
What? Okay.
The furniture's already been most of the furniture's already been destroyed. The only things that are intact here are the actual kitchen itself.
And they left the robot behind. Who'd have thought? Can't think.
Well,
why.
no, the robot is explained. The robot came to this place later.
Of course he did. He didn't get looked over because he made them a crap meal. And they went, right, lads, take everything except the shit robot and leave it behind, yeah? Right. Are we taking that? We're fucking not, no. So, all right.
Like,
it's a good cover story. I only just got here, but we now all know the truth, so, okay.
okay, so after eating our smoky barbecue meal, look on the bright side.
You didn't get radiated.
You are all full. So your health levels are your food levels are all up to maximum.
So what's your name, bud?
Do you
The
have
name
one?
I've chosen is Prometheus, but you can call me Pro for short.
Well, there we go.
Okay,
Pro,
Gene.
pro chef. I'll
Right.
call you
You know it,
Prom.
Master.
I'll
I'm gonna look at
call
these
you
guys.
Prom.
Is it worth staying in here for the night and then setting off in the morning?
So in fairness, this is actually probably a really good place to rest. Like the ground floor is largely intact, which means it's secure. You've got doors that actually close. You've got a heat source. And while there's no furniture in here, there's nothing stopping you from putting bedrolls down and resting up here.
Right. Yeah, great.
And also, considering you've taken the rest of the town apart, this is probably the least worst option for you.
Well, seems like I think only like I've seen that Morgan Goodboy probably enjoyed the meal, right?
Oh yeah, they. I mean,
It was noticeable.
Good boy doesn't seem to be massively impressed, but you'll get the impression relatively quickly that Good Boy isn't massively impressed with anything. But Morg enjoyed his meal. Whether he wants to show that or not is entirely up to him.
He's patting his belly every now and then and burping, so he really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Metal Man, you're a good cook. You're good.
Yes. And you have need of sustenance because you're a big boy. So
Biggest.
we're gonna get along fine. I'll be cooking for you all the time. And the way I enjoyed it, I imagine it is like they're trying to sleep, and I'm like talking all the time to Morg, and I'm like allowing him to sleep because he's the one that enjoyed my meal. And I don't need sleep anyway, and I'm bored. That'd go well.
And then
Supermutants need to sleep.
yeah,
Don't they?
yeah. Sooner or later, Morg will just fall asleep while you're talking to him.
Nice.
Okay, you rest up. You wake up the next day. You've got all of your limbs. Your organs don't seem to have been harvested. It's a good start to a day.
So, are we leaving this house, Masters?
Yep.
Yes,
No.
we have to take all this material back to our camp, town, What do you even call
Settlement.
settlement? Yeah.
All right. Let me grab some stuff, and I'm ready to go. And then I'm probably like, if you allow it as well, Hale, I think that's just for let's say cosmetics. I don't. It's not like it's necessary. I probably go to the kitchen. I don't know if the guys noticed it, but there were some like dumpster cans, let's say. And you can probably say that I kind of hovered down and I grab one of them with a hook, and that's how I imagine my inventory is. And probably if you can see the bottom of the trash can, it's all bloody because that's where I put the hand in and where I carry it across.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah, that's it. I'm ready.
Is
Okay.
there meat in there?
Not anymore. You've eaten
Uh,
it.
uh,
Kind of.
I didn't, but
Morg did. Master
yeah.
Morg did.
he sure did.
More
We got
gold.
like 2 extra portions of human cooked meat for Morg later, since we didn't need it.
So for future reference, I don't need to butcher any raiders or humanoids, right?
Probably best not.
I think that's probably a wise idea, says the dog.
All right.
I
Noted.
mean, it seems to be your special dish. So
I mean, realistically, anything that's lying down for long periods of time and not moving seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to butcher.
yeah, they won't need their meat anyways anymore.
Morg will
That's the
be
idea.
gathering up all the stuff that he needs to carry. Me think it's good to butcher anything. I don't see why y'all don't eat everything you can. Even metal men. It doesn't come out good, but it tastes okay.
Their flesh is inefficient, unlike yours, Morg.
He'll just grunt in approval.
Are we ready to set up?
We are ready to set off. Yep.
Okay, one important thing to take into consideration. When out of character, important thing to take into consideration. You have acquired an additional companion. And that means your
6 action points.
action points goes up to 6.
Oh, nice.
And we
Also,
can
so
carry
does
another
yours.
150 worth of stuff.
The thing is, I'm capped at that.
Yeah.
Mr. Hands are capped at that.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Head back
Uh,
where we came, try to find the Brahman, get across the river, get back to the settlement.
Since we have the entire day, why don't we do a stop at the next town?
I mean, sure, we could do
We
that.
do, yeah.
Have a look,
It's on the way anyway.
get everything we can carry, like max out our inventory, maybe go a bit higher even. We can afford to do that.
Mhm.
And then on the way back, get the Brahmin, try to cross.
Okay, yeah, let's go to the next town.
Okay, so it takes a few hours for you to traverse from this house through what once was Leavenworth and is now rubble, and around the river towards the town of Fredonia. As you approach it, so you took it in quite a wide berth when you came this way yesterday. As you approach the town from the north, you can see, as you get closer, you can see buildings. Not very many. You can see maybe 3 intact buildings in the whole place. Most of it is rubble, but there's a lot of motion in there. You can see humanoid shapes moving around in numbers, in quite some numbers.
Oh, right. If you don't hear from me in about 20 minutes, you come in guns blazing. I am going to try my sneak skill.
Or go home. So yeah,
Oh.
one of those.
I am going to drop my pack with my weight, with most of my weight. I'm going to take my gun. I'm going to take a secondary gun, which is the pipe pistol with the automatic weapon and a full clip of ammunition. Phil, if you'd be so kind as to shove that off of the Kate, and then at the end of this week we will have to get together and actually pull out on my character sheet so you're not doing my admin, because that's not fair on you. Right, so I want to do a stealth check to have a roam around the building, or the roam around the area. Yeah.
Okay.
Do I need to make one or multiple?
Just make one stealth check for me, please.
Right. Can I boost that in any way, shape, or form? I have 5 hook points, and there is action points in pool.
You can spend 1 action point to increase it by 1 d20, a further 2 action points to increase it by an additional d20, and a further 3 to increase it by an additional
1 action point, and a luck dice will allow me to re-roll a failure, won't it?
Correct.
Cool. So I will spend 1 community pool action point.
Yeah.
And then I will roll 3 dice on a sneak. Not additional 3, additional 1. Submit. I have 4 successes and a
Oh.
1.
That's
Awesome.
really good.
What do I get sneaking around?
So you move closer to the town itself, and I can tell you there are 3 intact buildings, one of which, the closest one to you, the furthest north most building, is you. As you get close to it, you realise it's basically already been ransacked. There's nothing really here. The second building, which is further south, it's close-ish to the river, but not on the river itself. Appears to be a boat supply store, and there is a wooden building that looks like a boathouse that is intact on the river itself. Most notably, in the town, you count somewhere in the region of about 30 ghouls. Some of them are milling around. Some of them are lying on the floor playing dead.
Okay.
They are a mixture of what you would would account to be normal feral ghouls, and probably about 30% of them are they have that weird look to them, like you saw before in Leavenworth.
Okay. So
They don't react to you as long as you're just moving around. If you start fucking around with stuff, they'll start reacting. But as long as you're moving around, they
I fuck around with stuff with stealth checks?
You can try. What I would say, yes, you can, but the consequences of fucking up is 30 feral ghouls attacking you.
Right. Okay.
Could she run away if they start attacking him?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my first plan.
Uh,
I'm not gonna lie. It's going to be pull out baseball grenade, run. Pull out baseball grenade, run.
You could do that. It strikes you that that's a fairly risky thing to do.
It strikes me that's an absolutely fucking stupid last resort. Only do it only if you need to. So, which of the 3 buildings? We've got a boathouse.
You've got 2. Basically, you've got one ransacked building to the north, which looks like it was a house, and there are several ghouls in and around that house. And then you've got 2 buildings further south, one of which looks like a boating supply store, which is largely intact, and there is a boathouse on the river itself.
Okay. I am going to go back to the guys, the group.
Keep talking. I'm listening.
So, there is about 30 ghouls in the town. I would say 10 of them or so are a bit of the fucked up, teethy, angry ones. Yep. There's a wrecked, ransacked house, boathouse, and a boat and supply shop. Yeah. I don't think clearing out this place would be too hard. However, if we don't have a plan, we're fucked. Yeah. And we're double fucked. I only have 2 baseball grenades. We could set up a couple of traps, try and herd them that direction and hope for the fucking best. Or we could just shoot our way through and hope for the fucking best. It's up to you guys.
There's no boat at the boathouse.
I do not believe I saw a boat at the boathouse.
You didn't get into the boathouse.
I did not get into the boathouse. I did not want to be fucking around with the dolls at that time because the last thing I wanted to be doing was running out of town with 30 fucking ghouls chasing me because they think I'm food.
Could we potentially like pull some of them towards us without pulling all of them?
I'm just going to show him this big gun that I have.
So you will all know. I'll ask you a question in a second, Phil. You will all know that feral ghouls are typically attracted by sound. So what Ralph is demonstrating is the moment he pulls his trigger of his gun, 30 ghouls are going to know what's going, or they're going to know where sound is over there, and they're going to head towards it. Maybe
That's
not
not
30.
Ralph, by the way.
My apologies, Joe. It's maybe not 30 of them, but large amounts of them are going to discover that sound and head towards it. Now, Phil, your question.
What's the terrain like?
In the town itself,
Just outside the town.
overgrown farmland.
Could we dig a pit?
You could. It would take time, but you could.
If we could dig a pit and we could herd them to the pit, then we could pick. That would get rid of some of them, and we could either leave them down there or just toss a couple of grenades down.
Yeah. Or
Is
like,
there a
the
pinch
flamethrower.
point, a single, sorry, a single corridor out of town sort of thing that we could herd them down quite easily?
And it's not like a walled town. It's like. I mean, it depends on how you set it up. You could attract them to a particular location and then attract them to another particular location. So you bunch them into one location and then point them in that direction. It would take something coordinated to happen, but you could do that, yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, they are 30. It sounds like a lot, to be honest.
I have 2 grenades. If you want to put them in a pit and throw a grenade in, we can do.
Morg have
I
idea.
think some sort of pit or some sort of barrier that allows us to control how many we take out or take on at any one time gives us an advantage. They don't know we're here yet. We know they're there. A bit of digging.
A really long piece of string.
Do you have a really long piece? No.
That's a shame.
Morg have idea.
Go on then.
Morg say we have Metal Man fly and distract ghouls. Then we smack them while they chase after Metal Man while he's floating about.
So, Prometheus, your repulsor on the bottom part of your body, which basically keeps you hovering, will keep you hovering about 3 foot off the ground at all times. It won't. You can't fly per se. You hover on close to the ground.
So the plan is I'm just going to be a distraction from what I get there.
I mean, you were always just a distraction, mate. That didn't change at any point.
You could cook for them I mean, you know,
Let's-
Or you can cook them, make them burned like
I prefer to
roach.
burn them,
right.
actually.
The more we fuck around with this, the more we're going to be doing. So are we building a barrier? Are we digging a trench? Or are we setting some grenade traps and just bringing them out and setting 2 lines of grenade traps?
let's do both. All 3.
Yeah.
Let's build a barrier to try to funnel them down where we've got a pit dug. Yeah. And then have some grenades ready in case that doesn't work.
Right. So what I'm going to do is, as we dig the pit, I'm going to make us have the higher ground of the pit, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Wherever we throw the earth is going to be on the side we're standing up to bring them down to, if that makes sense.
Let me ask a question about this pit. How deep are you making it? And how big is it?
As
It's-
deep as he tells us, yeah,
It needs
But
to
in
be
all
pretty
fairness-
deep.
this is going to take ages.
If you want a pit that they can't get out of,
Mhm.
you need to make it about 6 foot deep.
Okay.
And if you're planning on trapping 30 ghouls in there, it needs to be a reasonably big pit,
Which is going to take 2 days.
which is going to take 1 hour times 30. Let's say half that, 15. So it's probably going to take you most of the day to one of you to dig that pit, to dig a pit. The more people that contribute towards digging the pit, the quicker it'll become. If all of you,
do have a morgue.
yeah, with I'm taking that into consideration. If Morg is leading the effort of digging the pit, let's say it will take about 6 hours to dig a basic pit that's 6 foot deep. That's big enough to hold maybe half of them.
Okay.
An extra, say 2 people working on that will make it big enough for everybody to, all of them to go into
If we all dug it, how long would it take?
in 6 hours. If you all dug it, it would take 4 hours.
No.
Right. Let's get on with it.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
you spend 4 hours digging a pit, and you do, and you bank up the sides, etc. You make what is effectively a beautiful pit. As pits go, it is a beautiful pit.
Right.
Um,
On the way to the pit and a mount down the road, which will be safe for us. Yeah. I'm going to ask Morg to bring the dog. Yeah. I'm going to go through our supplies and I'm going to try and make a trap out of that grenade. I have explosive.
On both of them.
I can do both of them, but if I do both of them, I'm going to stagger them down. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I will cross them off as gone. Yeah.
I'll take them off my gear as well.
We making the boomy?
by the time you finish building the pit, you are all peckish, apart from the robot.
Right. I am going to set the... Right, I have 3 in... I have 3 in explosives, but I do not have it tagged, and I have 7 in perception. Yeah?
So, good boy will watch you do it, but you'll hear him tutting every time you do things every so often. And eventually you'll say, why don't you just let me do this?
Okay, there you go. What do you need me to do?
You can assist.
Okay, how do I do that?
Basically, he gets you to hold things. Like he's not really getting you to assist.
No,
You're helping him by adding a die to his thing. What is it you're actually trying to do though for this?
Basically, what I want is 2 tripwire traps set about blast radius, hit. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So basically, what I want is if they come running up to the place, yeah, I want the ghouls to trip it, and some of them to get caught. Then what survives, I want them to run up the hill, catch another one, yeah, trip it, get blasted, and then whatever gets left ends up in the pit.
Okay. So I'm going to make 2 rolls.
Yep. Oh fuck!
That's unfortunate.
Luck reroll? Wait, there's a complication. Never mind. What
Yeah.
if he uses a luck point reroll then?
Cat. Natural 20 is a failure.
It is.
Natural 20.
Okay. How much damage does a baseball grenade do?
I don't know.
Oof.
Oh
I'm
my
about
God.
to find out.
Let's have a look. See. Oh, actually, I've got a spreadsheet for this.
This is where me and the dog die.
5 DC.
Is it 5?
Mm.
Oops.
5
don't
DC.
do-
Mm.
5 dice of damage. Oh, fuck.
I mean, it could be 0.
Yeah. I've only got 12 health, mate. This could kill me.
Does it have any traits associated with it?
It can kill you.
Blast.
What
Which
does
is the
blast
AOE,
do?
basically. Is that it hits
Yeah.
everyone in a zone.
Okay. Well, it's going to go off twice.
Oh.
Oh, you're so dead.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
I had a good idea and let the fucking dog do it.
5. Submit. Ooh. Okay, lovely. And 5. Oops. 5. Submit. Okay. Dog's taking a load of damage.
Right, what am I taking?
7 damage. Oops. There's that explosion, and then 5. Come on.
Oof.
Nice. So
Christ.
you're basically holding stuff while Good Boy is doing most of the work with regards to this. There comes a point in the middle of setting the first trap where you can hear him telling you to do things, and then at some point he'll suddenly say, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And then an explosion goes off, followed by a second explosion.
Okay, cool.
Right. You take 10 points of damage.
Yep, which I've done.
Cool. He takes 7 points of damage. And you're both blasted back. You're not sure whether the first explosive or the second explosive went off first. You're not sure what's happened. Something's gone wrong in the process of this. But you're both blasted back away from one another. Everybody hears this. Everybody who was watching sees this.
What about the ghouls?
Oh, they'd have heard this.
They almost certainly heard this.
Okay.
I guess also injuries count because it's more than 5.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
This is where I died.
This is where the run ends.
So you took more than 5 on one of those rolls.
Yeah.
So we need to make a couple of rolls with regard to that as well,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
because you get an injury.
I'm going to shoot that dog in the fucking head.
Not the legs, because we're gonna run.
I'm good as dead. But fuck it. It was nice while it lasted.
Combat. Why will you not just do the thing that I want you to do? This is really quite irritating. Hit locations. Do me a favor, Rack, roll a d20.
12.
12 is your right arm. So you've taken a damage to your right arm. Let's find out what that does. Critical hits and injuries. Right arm. You drop any object that's held in that hand. The arm is broken or otherwise unable to move. You cannot perform any actions with that arm by itself or alongside any other arm.
I can't fire, guys. I'm right-handed.
So your arm is broken.
Patch that up.
You can, but you can also hear from the town a collection of snarls, and you can see dust. I'm guessing you're a little way out of town, but you can see a dust cloud starting to form in town.
So, how's the dog?
The doggy is injured. He's lying on his side and whimpering.
Okay, so I will grab Joe and pull him towards the embankment of the pit, so he's behind the pit. Yeah, and make sure everyone else is behind the pit. Yeah. So when they come, they're going to have to come through the pit.
Morg
Okay.
will grab good boy.
And then I will check and see how much I can heal Joe before they get here.
I will pull my gun out, my 44, and I will be trying to hand it over to Tarkus.
I think Tarkus is gonna do better with his pistol now.
And if you say that, then the pistol will go down, just kind of go limp and go, fuck.
I'm probably taking point behind the pit.
Can you fire a small
It's,
gun? Can you? And I'm gonna look at the robot and go, can you fire a gun?
It's alright, Joe. Don't jump the gun. Let's see if we can fix you up at all. Maybe you'll be useful yet.
Oh, only if you drag me to that radiation pit back at the last town.
No time for that, Joe.
Okay, they are coming, and they're coming fast towards you. What do you want to do?
Not that robot.
Can we heal Joe at all?
Okay.
You got a first aid kit or stim packs?
I've got a first aid kit and a stim pack.
Okay,
Have any healing for you?
there are rules for healing.
All right, I got a stim pack as well.
Okay.
How about like you need an action to do stim pack, right?
You do in combat, yes. Out of combat, you can just do it.
Are we in combat or are we out of combat?
You're not in combat yet, but you will be very soon.
I don't know what Stimpack will
Okay,
do. But if you jab me with
does
Stimpack,
does Ralph have time to do both, like a first aid kit and a stim pack on him?
You can actually use them both at the same time. So the way it works, you to treat an injury, you have to make an intelligence plus medicine check. The difficulty of the roll is equal to 1 plus the number of injuries they suffer.
Okay, so Phil, I actually maybe I should do the healing because I found out like it's the intelligence and medicine. I have medicine tagged at 3 and 9 intelligence, so maybe I should do that.
I've got 8 intelligence and medicine tagged at 4. So it's much of a muchness, isn't it?
Okay,
It is.
if he has it tagged at 4, then he should do it. Maybe he will get more criticals potentially.
I would say use a group point for this, mate.
Of course you would.
Of course I would, yeah, because I can get
So
back in the fight potentially.
It's 2d20. It's intelligence.
So if Tarkus is helping you,
medicine. Yeah,
you'll get an extra d20 automatically,
that's
right? So you're rolling 3d20. If you want to spend an action point, that's 4d20.
Okay.
And your successes, so to regaining health on that, you'll gain passing an intelligence medicine test will heal a number of hit points equal to your rank in medicine skill and an additional hit point for every action point you spent.
Okay. Let me just roll and see what we've got.
If you use a stim pack as well, they'll automatically gain an additional 4 hit points in the process.
4 successes.
Look at that. 4 successes.
Right.
That's plenty. So you need 2 to succeed.
Yep.
Right? You can use one of your additional ones to treat the injury, which effectively removes the broken arm status from him.
Yeah.
But you need to make a note of it though, Rack, because if you take another injury on that if you get another effect on that arm again, the wound will reopen and it'll effectively go back to the same state as was in the first place until it's healed. till you're fully healed. But you'll gain 4 plus 1 for the action point you spent. Plus, are you using the stim pack as well?
You guys tell me if you're using a stim pack, it's now
I don't think we need to.
right. I'm on 2 HP. I have a max of
How
12.
many? Right, so we need 10 HP. So Chris, it's 4 base.
So it's 4
Yeah.
plus 1 for the action point that you spent.
5
If you use the stim pack as well, that will be an additional 4 points automatically.
plus 2 from the first aid kit is 7.
Yeah.
And plus how many from the sim pack?
4.
I mean, if it's 7, then we're overkilling if we do the steam pack.
By 1, then we need 10. 4 takes it. I tell you what, we've got a diluted stim pack.
I'll do 2.
We picked that'll do 2.
All right.
So that'll
Yeah.
give him 9 back out of the 10, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's
And it'll
9
affect
hit
him.
points back, and the arm is technically not broken. You can use it at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm at 11 hit points. I roll over on my stomach with my 44, and I kind of aim downhill, lay down, kind of rest my arm as best as I can in the process.
Okay.
Are the ghouls like clamped up? Like
So you're watching while all of this is going on. You're watching the ghouls coming out of the town, and they come out in kind of quite a long line to start with, but they start to funnel down into more of a column running towards you.
okay, so if I was to throw an explosive at them, how many would it hit? Let's say.
That depends.
On what?
How good you are at throwing, but basically how successful you are. Like if you score 1 success on your throwing, you're going to hit the first couple that are in the column. If you get more successes, you'll throw it further in and cause more damage to more of them.
That's the idea. Yeah, well,
Or you could wait until they hit the pit and then drop it down there.
Incidentally, you scored 4 successes on that medicine check. That's 1 more than you needed in order to do things, so you get an action point back.
Okay, cool.
So we're back at 5.
Back at 6. Oh, 5.
6.
Back.
5, yeah.
The action points. So that's the group's action points, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly I wanted the initiative, but okay. We can wait and see how the pit works.
You've got basically like a turn before they're on you. So if you want to do something
or chuck
before
an explosive.
if you want to do something before combat happens, before we do the initiative checks, they're running towards you and the pit is in the way, so they're probably going to filter down into the pit.
Are they feral, Chris? Or are they?
Yeah, they're feral.
Right. Do we get a round of shots off before they?
You can put a round of you can spend a round shooting at them if you want to.
Well, do I have time because I've just healed Joe? Or
Yes.
Is that right over and above? I don't see any harm in having a shot at them, to be honest.
Okay.
Do we all just take a shot?
Or
If you wish to.
Do you want to throw the grenade first,
okay,
maybe?
I'm gonna yeah, because also I have Molotovs which do persistent damage, so that should.
Okay, yeah, you
count
throw the
as-
grenade and we'll try to pick off any wounded ones.
So that's an explosives roll.
Yeah.
That
Please
never
not
goes
20,
badly, does it?
please not 20, please not 20.
So we were back at 6, right? Action
Yes.
points
No,
for the-
no, we're at 5.
5. Sorry, my apologies. 5. Yes. I'm just sad I haven't got any action points to spend myself.
Okay, I think that is pretty important, so I probably do spend an action point if you guys are fine with that.
Go for it.
So I can guarantee that maybe. So
Though that means more rolls for you to get a 20.
True. Let's heard are the like it's perception plus explosives, right?
It is that.
All right. Well, then.
2's not bad.
3.
3.
Hmm,
3's not bad. Is it
I
tag?
thi-
It's tagged. Yeah.
it is.
Oh, good. Yeah, 3 successes. So up to you. You can either use one success and hit the first couple as they're coming towards you. You can spend.
Just for your info, I think explosives have a difficulty of 2 when you throw something. I think I've read that somewhere.
Okay, so you can use
Just,
you can either use 2 of those successes to hit the first couple,
Mhm.
or you can use the additional success in order to throw it further and hit more of them. If
I'll
you
check the second one.
say again?
The second one, for sure.
Okay,
Personally.
all right. What? All right, just make a damage roll, single damage roll.
All right, I threw a Molotov. How many DC is that? It's
No.
4.
Hell, did you mean he rolls one DC or he what?
Just roll
Once
whatever
per
the
roll.
damage of the
Okay,
Molotov
okay.
is.
Alright,
Just
alright.
roll it once and we'll apply it to a mass of them. 4 damage.
Pretty good for 3 dice.
4. I'm just letting you know that Molotovs have the persistent effect. So
Yes.
since it hits, they will do that damage again at the end of their turn.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so 4, 8. All right, so you throw the Molotov. Looks a bit weird. Mr. Handybot throwing a Molotov. It's almost like he kind of like coils his claw arm up, and it kind of like explodes. It doesn't throw like a human throws. It's like he coils up all the potential energy and almost fires it like a cannon.
Kind of imagine it's doing like the.
Yeah, spin.
Oh,
Yeah, he's gonna do a spin.
Maybe he does. Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's even sillier.
It cascades through the air, spinning as it does so. It passes over the heads of the first 2-3 bodies, and then disappears into the crowd behind it. There is it's not an explosion, but it's more like a kind of woof sort of sound, and a large number of bodies in the middle of the crowd suddenly burst into flames. They don't seem to care. They're continuing to come, but they're obviously on fire and burning. They are quite close to each other, and as we start getting into the start of combat, you realise that they are catching each other on fire, which is both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because you're causing more damage to all of them, but they're on fire and they're trying to get into melee with you.
Nice.
Those of you with guns who wish to fire guns may feel free to do so at this point.
Okay, so question. The particular gun I have is just like one shot, one kill. If I swap over to the machine pistol,
Yeah.
So I'm going to swap over to that. I need you to help me work some bits out because again, I have the perk that gives me increased. I have the quick hands perk,
Okay.
so that gives me perks.
You can switch to the machine pistol without a problem. Like, we're not actually in combat yet.
So I can add +2 to my firing rate of my gun.
Yeah.
Which would make my firing rate 4, I believe.
Okay.
Phil, have you got the stats for the pipe gun about, or is it?
Is it a pipe gun, Chris?
Yeah.
The
It's pipe gun with
gun
the
receiver.
Oh,
Yeah, so fire rate 2, damage 3 dice.
Give me a second. Small guns. automatic, -1 damage, +2 to fire rate, gains burst, gains inaccurate. So it would be fire rate of 6. Inaccurate and burst, and -1 to damage on a dice roll. It shows the -1. Yeah, -1 damage. So it'd be -1 off the total damage of the original gun. I'm just trying to find the original gun. It's free, so it goes down to 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 2 damage per hit, or 2 damage per bullet.
It's 2 damage.
Right. Okay.
So it does a base level of 2 damage, and then
Yep.
you can spend ammunition to push your damage up to the rate of the weapon.
Which
So if the
means
rate of the weapons is 6, you can spend 6 ammunition to push it up by an additional 6.
what do you think, guys? Try and blast it and do a try and see how many smiley faces I can roll to spread the blast damage across.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
I
is
mean,
do or die. I'm willing to go.
Right. Okay. I will give that a go. I will roll small guns. I will spend a dice pool, dice, to get an additional dice on it. Yeah. So I'm rolling 3 dice. It's my tag skill. Agility 8, so 13. 14, 8, 11. I'm going to spend a luck point to re-roll the 14. Yeah.
What for?
Well, do I not get more damage if I get an additional?
No, that's to hit. So to hit, you just need successes to hit. So you
Right,
need to
okay.
basically beat their defense rating. So the defense rating is 1.
Oh, so I've done that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
we
then I've
can
got
and
one more success that I needed to do a gain back a thing or
Yes. You gain
So
back
we
an
got-
action point.
we're back at
point
5.
of
All right.
roll. Right, so now it's the damage dice, which I am firing all 6 shells.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Technically 7 because it costs you a shot it costs you 1 to take the shot.
7, so I'm rolling 14 damage.
No, you're rolling 2 plus 6.
8.
So plus 6 or plus 4?
Plus
So 2
6.
damage plus
Oh,
6, 8.
it has 4. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smiley faces and 2 damage. So a
Okay.
grand total of 7 damage to split across.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't it work like it does 7 damage to 5 additional targets?
I
Yeah.
wish. Is that how it works?
I think so.
Double check that.
I would
I
double
thought it would do an amount of damage and then spread it to another one. Because if that does 7 damage to 5 additional targets, I'm laughing my ass off.
What is it? Burst?
Yeah.
The attack hits 1 additional target within close range of the primary target for each effect rolled. Each additional target spends 1 additional unit of ammunition from the weapon.
So you have to spend even more ammunition, I guess,
So-
if you want to hit.
Okay, so if you want to, right, for each effect, you can spend an additional point of ammunition, and that damage is applied to each additional target.
Right, so give me a moment, because the one thing I need to check now is how much ammunition that gun carries.
So if you spend 1 point of ammunition, 2 people get full damage. If you spend 2 points of ammunition, 3 people get full damage.
I'll spend the full 5.
Okay.
Phil, how much ammunition was that?
So we had 26 rounds, and I gave you 10. So there's another 16 spare if you need them.
Might be an idea.
Yep.
Do you want to knock off the 7, 5, so the 12 rounds that I've just spent blowing down 5 guys?
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
then
I gave you 10, so I'll take another 2 off, so that's 14.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So then,
and do you want me to give you those 14 38 rounds now for the next round? Yeah.
might as well. Might as
Done.
well. Because if I can roll half as good as that, we've still nailed down a fair few.
Yeah.
And like I'm hoping, because they're going to be the front row, the others will trip over the falling bodies to slow them down.
Also, for the record, you can use a luck point to reroll combat dice if you want.
Yeah.
If you want, like the blank ones.
Right. Completely and utterly didn't know that, but
Mm.
I will save it for this time round because I think I've done enough on that, and there's only one
Yeah,
dice to re-roll.
sure.
If there was more
It's
fail,
two. Probably. Two blanks. But yes.
So you've hit 6 of them.
right?
So you step up to the embankment. You pull out you level the machine pistol in their direction, and you pull the trigger and start firing. It starts to fire. At some point, you realise you're screaming while you're doing it. You can't help yourself.
Like a bastard.
The recoil is shooting up through your arm. Although it's healed, it still aches. So you get a certain level of, there's a lot of discomfort from this, and you're screaming and you're holding onto the top of the pistol with the other hand to try and keep it down. Bullet casings start flying all over the place. The first ghouls that were coming towards you are basically cut to ribbons. The first rank of them, the ones that the Molotov went over the heads of, are cut to ribbons. They collapse on the floor. Bits of them, chunks of them are blown off. Body parts start to fall on the floor. Bodies hit the floor. The rest of the mob are coming. Now you're looking at maybe somewhere in the mid-20s rather than 30. And they're mostly on fire.
Great shots, Master.
That was quite an impressive effort. Really impressive effort.
So, let's go next.
Wait, can the flamethrower hit them from?
I
Or is
use
it-
my action.
So you use it, okay.
Yeah, let's see. Bonus
All right. So when my laser pistol says fire rate 2, it means
Yep.
I can hit like up to 2 people potentially.
No, it means that fire rate 2 means that when you take a shot, you could spend up to 2 additional points of ammunition to increase your damage by an additional 2.
So I can split it somehow between targets.
It
Only
needs
if-
burst.
No.
You need to have the right trait on the weapon to do that. So, but burst is what you need in order to be able to hit multiple targets.
All right.
There is a second one of those pistols around.
I think Ralph is gonna use it. Right?
He's not. No, because he's rubbish with guns. You can use it. You're going to be using your own ammunition. All the ammunition came with that pistol is pretty much gone.
I've just blasted it down range at 5 of them to kill them.
And
all.
you did a really good job with it, to be fair.
So there's no more ammo of that, so there's no point to use it. Right?
Unless you've got your own ammo. Unless you've got your own 38
no,
rounds. No.
I don't. All right. I'm just gonna shoot one with a laser pistol. I cannot really do anything else.
Okay. Make your attack. They've got a defense
More
rating
fire.
of 1. That hits.
4 successes, I guess.
That hits really well. So you need 1 to hit. They've got a defense rating of 1, so you need to get 1 success. So you get 3 additional successes after that, which translates into action points back if you want them. So I think that puts you probably back on full action points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I'll just roll the damage dice.
Okay.
All right. I shoot 1 for 2.
You take a shot, and while this is less impressive than Joe standing up and Ramboing the first load of them, you take a shot and it hits directly in the center of the closest ghoul's forehead. It literally collapses to the floor dead.
I got 1.
I will take a shot as well.
It is a really, I mean,
Master.
that in and of itself is a really impressive shot. It's just compared to Rambo next to you, it wasn't as effective. But like, you two standing there and you're like combat veterans taking on the horde. It looks really impressive. Now Ralph is going to finish off the scene.
Yeah. Agility, small guns, 2 dice, 2 successes.
That's a hit.
Okay, and it's 3 dice damage, yeah?
That's a hit with 1 extra, so you get an action point back.
Okay.
Very
Although you're at
small.
full anyway, so that's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
3
I
damage.
read somewhere you can use action points to take another main turn.
You can,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can
Yeah.
use 2.
You can use
Right.
action points to do all sorts of stuff. You can use it to take an extra action if you want to. You can those extra action points that you gain on those rolls. You can cycle them out straight away if you want to. So if you wanted to, for example, you got 2 successes on that roll. What you can do is you can say, rather than wasting the action points, I'll take that action point and I'll take a second attack after this.
Was it 2 action points we got back?
You got 2 successes. You got 1 action point back from that roll. So you've got effectively a floating action point that you can use now if you want to.
I'm not going to use that.
I mean, you could use that action point to add damage.
Yeah, why not? So, well, I've only got
So-
3 damage. Has it killed it?
To be fair, yeah, it has had 3 damage. Has already killed it. So yeah, you stand up and you take aim and take the shot. And again, it's like you hit it in the jaw, and it goes at an angle through what is probably its throat and comes out the back, and it collapses to the floor as well. This looks really impressive.
I like when she always says that.
It looks really cinematic. You guys standing behind this mound, the horde coming towards you, and you're mowing them down. You've caught them all on fire. You're mowing down down the ghouls running towards you. Morg, what are you doing?
Are any of them close now?
No, they're on the other side of the pit.
Oh.
So basically, when combat effectively kicks off, what's going to happen is they're basically going to get to the pit.
Oh, okay. Are there any rocks nearby?
Yeah.
Morg will pick up a rock and throw it at them.
Okay, go for it.
I don't. What dice would that be?
So it goes off of your throne, and I think strength.
Throwing strength. Okay.
We have our own trebuchet.
Throw.
Okay, you need 1 success to hit.
Gotcha.
Right, so you've got 2 successes, so you've got a floating action point.
Gotcha.
We'll say the base damage of the rock that you've picked up is 2.
Okay. I have problems with the I can do unarmed strike since that's damage 2. Go ahead and roll that then.
What do you mean?
I don't have any rocks. I don't have like a rock thing.
No, I'm saying like the damage of the rock is going to be a base damage of 2.
I got
So
you.
you've got a floating action point, so you could spend an action point to increase the amount of damage you're doing.
Sure. I'll do that. I'm just saying, do you want me to? I don't have like.
Just roll at the top of your character sheet.
Sorry,
critical roll
it's
with
thing.
combat.
Yeah, I got you. The face
Yeah.
and then combat
rolling.
dice 2.
It'd be 3 if you're going to spend your floating action point on it.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
3.
So you pick up a half brick out off the floor and lazily throw it overarm at the bodies coming towards you. It glances off the side of the skull of one of them, which cracks open, and brain matter comes out, scatters its way kind of like lazily across the bodies running towards you. It falls sideways into the mass, falls onto the floor, and gets trampled to death. You've probably reduced them by about a third.
So 20 left.
Somewhere on fire.
Most of them are on fire. By the end of
And
this turn,
there's a pit, so-
they're all catching fire at this point. So they get to the pit, right? And rather than do initiative rolls for combat initially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say they hit the edge of the pit and they try to jump it. Right? I'm not going to make 21 rolls to see if 21 of them get across the pit. I'm going to make 5 rolls, and I'm going to say 3 successes is required in order for them to be able to get over the pit.
All of them? Don't
No.
some of them fall in the pit? So they're all of them or none of them?
No. 5 of them are going to make the attempt to jump.
Oh, it's divided by. Okay.
Right? They're going to need 3 successes on their roll in order to do so.
Okay, sorry. I
Um,
misunderstood. All right. Go for it.
Let's say, yeah, okay. So I'm going to do 5 rolls. First one critically fumbles, excellent. Second one critically fumbles. Third one fails completely.
A hero.
Fourth one, that should be 2 successes and is not enough anyway. And no successes. So the bodies pour straight towards the hole, and most of them drop straight down into it. But 5 of them try to make the leap. 2 of them jump and impact into each other. They look like they're going to make it, and it's like you have like one of those 5p 50p moments where your backside suddenly tightens as it looks like 2 of them are about to make it over, but they time their jump wrong and they impact into each other in the air, which takes all of the momentum out of each other, and they drop straight down into the pit. So none of them make it across to the other side. All of them end up in the pit. All of them are on fire.
Right. Well,
That's taken care of.
while
How
we're
long?
there,
To be fair, it doesn't take very long for the fire to destroy them all.
in that case, if it's a case of that I don't have to do anything, yeah, I'm not doing anything, yeah. If I have to do something, I will do something, and then I'm going to crawl over to the dog, yeah, and go, can we get some medical help for this fucker?
Yeah, to be honest, if they're in the pit, I'm going to look at the dog and see if I can help the dog.
I'm gonna help him healing the dog.
Does
Morg.
the dog need a repair kit?
Yeah.
The dog is going to get told if he survives this, we are never helping each other again with explosives.
I have repair 3. Can I still help with this?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's a
Right.
robot.
Yes.
Can I heal him? Is he in the
Yeah. It is a repair check to heal, good boy.
I can help too. Got some repair.
Okay, well, I've got repair 4 and it's checked.
Okay. Whoever's doing the lead-in, and then I just need to know how many people are assisting.
I'm helping.
Roy is helping too.
Okay, so you can have 2 additional D10s.
Okay,
D10s?
so
20s.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's vampire.
Okay. So we're looking at 4d20, so 2 plus additional 2. It is intelligence repair.
It is intelligence repair.
3 successes.
Critical no. So you'll do your repair rating. That will heal your repair rating.
Which is 4.
He still looks damaged, but after you finished, I don't really know how you would how you do this, but you open up compartments and you start But you start working at it with your tools, with the assistance of the others. They're holding things and they're opening things up and adjusting the body. After a short period of time, good boy's ears prick up, and he gets back shakily to his feet. He sits down and actually he'll walk towards you. You're kind of like probably on all fours working on him. He'll get up and he'll walk towards you and he'll put his forehead on your forehead.
Okay.
And then he will turn around and you'll get his ass in your face. And it'll take a couple of steps away and then sit on the floor and just look off into the middle distance.
Cool. Okay.
I'm going to sit next to him and say, I promise I will never help you with explosives again.
I didn't realize you'd be as incompetent as you were. Had I realized that, I would never have asked you.
I think that you're
That's-
just incompetent.
That's on me. I should have recognized how incompetent you were in the first place. That is my failing.
Okay.
And for that, you have my apology. I will never make that mistake again.
Okay. I'm taking it there are 21 bodies burnt to a crisp.
Yeah,
Like a
I mean,
cooking probe.
they burn for a while. They burn
yeah.
for a while. Morgue, it smells fucking amazing.
Morg is probably he was paying attention to Good Boy to see if he was getting repaired, but then he will turn his attention back to the burning bodies to make sure they're all burned.
While you're doing that, like your stomach is growling, and you can't help like streams of drool is pouring from your mouth. You just can't help it. This smells fucking great. This smells like a proper fucking cookout.
I'm literally going to look at Morgan and go fucking eat. We're going into the town to rob it.
Eventually, though, it'll burn out.
Cool.
All right. I'm hovering over the pit casually.
Okay.
And I'm going in the middle of the town and I'm trying to see like if there's anything else moving alive.
There is nothing else moving alive in this town. You have cleared out quite
Excellent.
successfully. Cleared out the infestation of ghouls.
Oh, can we rob the entire town blind again?
You can. I mean, there isn't as much here as there was in Leavenworth. This is a much smaller and less intact place than Leavenworth was. But yes, you can.
Hale,
So there was
can
a
I?
boathouse. Sorry, Peter.
Okay, I just want to ask something. I just read it in the action point section. There's like an option to reduce time for 2 AP about doing anything.
Yeah.
It says from a successful test. What is that
Yes.
test? What do
So-
you roll?
So if you want to say, for example, I say it's going to take you, say, for example, you're scavenging the town.
Right.
And the scavenging the town requires you to make a roll. And you pass that roll, and I say it's going to take 6 hours to scavenge the town. You can spend 2 action points to reduce that time by half.
Oh, so you don't really roll for the reduced time
No.
action? Okay.
No, it's just on the success when you succeed in doing something, rather than it taking you 6 hours, it will take you 3 hours. Or if you spend 4 action points, it will take you another half, so it will take you a quarter of the time.
Go on, Phil.
Thanks. So there was a boathouse. And
There's
what
one
else?
building that seems to already have been scavenged for
Yeah.
stuff. There is a boathouse on the river itself, and there is a building that Joe has pointed out looks like it's a boat supply store.
Should we start there?
Boat supply store.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Yep. So there's nothing alive left in this town. So it's pretty safe for you to move around in here now. You approach the boat supply store, and it was pretty much in the epicenter of the town. Probably why it hasn't been picked clean. But it's now available for you. There are things still in here.
Okay.
There is a collection of things still in here. If you would like to make a scavenging check,
People
right.
want to make the checks, and I'll note down what it is. Yeah.
Before that, is there any loot on the ghouls? Did anyone touch on them?
Oh wow! Now I was wondering if you were going to ask that question.
I mean,
Burned.
Yeah, they're burned, but I have to ask. Like, I just have to ask.
So while the rest of the party moves into the town itself, you climb down into the pit and have a look through what is the remains of the bodies. There is very little that they obviously might have had some stuff on them that has been mostly destroyed in the process, but you do find a couple of things. You find roll 2d20.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
also, how's Good Boy getting along? Can he walk pretty well?
Yeah, I mean he's limping a little bit.
Or go pick him up and carry him into town
okay.
with him.
You find a total of 44 caps. Most of it on the floor of the pit, because whatever clothing they had is burnt up and the metals just dropped through. It wasn't hot enough to just destroy the caps themselves. You also find another thing that's quite interesting and a little bit weird. You find a very charred piece of metal that's on a like a chain around one of the ghouls' necks. It's about the size of a credit card. It looks like it probably had something painted on the outside of it, or a picture on the outside of it, but that's long since been burnt away by the heat. So you basically have a piece of metal on a chain.
Does it look like a key card?
Could be.
All right, I'll put it in my pockets and I'll give the caps to Ralph since he has the
Thank
loot.
you. How many caps?
44.
Thank you.
It's quite a lot, really.
So 30 ghouls. It's pretty good.
Right, scavenging. We're going to scavenge.
If I may, like, maybe our new companion is the better for scavenging now.
How does it work? Like one leads and the others help?
Yeah. Right? Or am I missing something?
Wait, one. It's a perception survival test. Oh god, I need more monitors. It's enough. Yeah. Yes. So one person would make the roll and get some assistance from the others.
Then kindly, the new masters should help me. Probably.
Yeah.
9 perception helps.
Yeah, Phil, if you're right with that, I think he has like survival check and high perception. So
Bingo robot helps.
No. I've got survival check, but I don't have high perception, so I can help, but I wouldn't lead.
Alright.
Also, for reference, it says that handy robots get a -1 to. Was it not probably
Cooking?
difficulty?
Cooking.
Well, that turned out badly. That's true. How does it say? Reducing the difficulty of perception tests that rely on sight and smell by 1.
Yeah, so you're good at searching.
I leave it up to you what sight and smell dependent.
Sight would work for the purpose of scavenging, yes.
So
Okay.
how would
Whatever
that
difficulty you set, yeah, minus 1. I guess.
how would that work with the rolls? Yeah, is it like he needs one more success to do it, or
So it decreases the difficulty.
Yeah, by 1.
So it decreases the difficulty of the roll. So whatever you're rolling. So in this case, the difficulty of the roll is going to be 2. So make it a difficulty 1 check.
All right. So who is helping me?
I'll help you.
I think everyone probably, or is someone doing something else?
So I'm imagining that you're probably Tarkus is probably still scavenging bodies at this point.
Oh, okay. So I cannot help. Okay.
It takes quite a while for you to get all the bits out of of those bodies.
All right, fair enough.
So
What
Joe and Morg, are you going to help Pro along with myself?
Sure.
So that's an extra 3 dice.
Okay, so 5d20.
So what you're going to be doing, you make the roll in the first instance, and then I shall tell you what you find, and we'll roll on the loot tables.
All right. Oh, excellent.
5 successes, excellent. So first thing that you find. Need to look up something else here. Where is it? Tasks. You find 3 quite damp, quite damaged cardboard boxes. When you're looking at them in the first instance, you're not entirely sure that these are worth anything at all. And you sort of like oceans at the point that you found it. These cardboard boxes contain carbon filters for water purification, and to your eyes, for the purpose of scavenging, you're like, what's the fucking point of this? This isn't of any particular value at all. But there's like Ralph kind of exclaims when you do so, and you find 3 of them. You also find so that's 1. So you can make 4 additional checks on the random oddities table. This is going to be weird. So what you need to do is roll 3d20 for me.
At the same time or separately?
Yeah, 3d20 at the same time, and you can do this 4 times.
Oh, okay. Does it work like that? Okay.
Perfect. 49. 49. You find this is a little bit peculiar because while this is it's obviously set up as like a boating supply store, it's also kind of like a general store at the same time. So it's obviously, you can see the way that it was laid out. There were like magazines for sale at some point, and food containers and stuff like that, most of which is disappeared. One of the things you find here, you recognize almost immediately as being a robot mod. This is a behavioral analysis mod. This could be installed into a robot, and it will do behavioral analysis.
Reduce the difficulty of speech.
Yes.
Well, we can keep that. That'd be useful.
If you'd like to make another roll for me, please.
Yeah, sure. By the way, is Phil writing down the inventory or? Okay. I can help you with that. That's a thing. Whatever you want.
You find a small backpack, very well maintained backpack.
Right. And one more?
Mm-hmm. Roll a d20.
Oh.
You find 5 caps. And
That's
then
what happened on.
and then make another 3d20. You find another robot mod. It's an integral boiler mod. You're swimming in integral boiler mods.
Useless. I have that already.
It is scrappable though.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. So now we can fix the water purifier, right? We just needed the carbons. The carbon filters.
Yep.
All right.
Anything else you want to do? I imagine at this point Tarkus has probably finished in the pit and then has come to join them with a big old bag full of caps. Are you pointing out the card that you found as well, or are you just pocketing that? Tarkus.
Sorry. What were you saying?
You come back with a big old bag of caps, and I was wondering if you were pointing out the fact that you had the card that may or may not be a key card, or if you were just pocketing it, keeping it to yourself.
No, I'll tell them I have the key card. I'll keep it. I don't know. Does anyone want it? Like,
Hang on to it. I'm
Alright.
hoping that gets us through the door in the settlement, or helps us to get through the door in the settlement.
it's worth a try for sure.
Yeah.
And I give the caps to Ralph.
Cool. Thank you.
So off to the boathouse.
I think that was the boathouse.
No, that was the boating supply store. There is also
Oh.
a boathouse on the river itself.
Let's go to the boathouse. I hope there's a boat.
Okay, you approach the boathouse. The boathouse itself is mostly made of tin, of corrugated metal. It has a door, and the door is, it's pretty tough. You open it, it squeaks as you push it open. Inside, you find like a wooden walkway that extends out onto the river itself. And in the central area, there is a place for boats to park. And you do indeed find a boat. It's badly damaged. It looks like it is a speedboat with sort of kind of rigid. I don't know how to describe this. If you've played Rust, it looks like the rib. It's basically like a platform with like it's got a rigid bit that goes around the outside of it that basically contains the buoyancy, and it should have a motor on the back of it. The motor is long since gone, but it is a floating, quite damaged, but potentially repairable floating platform.
Can
Just
we
any
see?
parameter.
Oh, sorry.
What's the question?
Could
you
we
get a Brahmin on
pretend?
it?
Oh, sorry. Go on back.
Can you get a Brahmin on it?
How many of you were asking that same question?
No.
Not me.
Could you get a Brahmin on it? Yes, it's certainly big enough for you to fit a Brahmin on it
If it behaves.
if it behaves.
The river that this is on is the river that goes past where we crossed, and
Yeah,
all the way back up to the settlement. So if we got this boat working, we could go upstream, pick up the Brahmin, and carry on round to the
No,
settlement.
if the river flows in the opposite direction, so you'd be going against the current.
Right.
I would suggest we go get the Brahmin, bring it down. Yeah. Some of us take the trip over on the raft. Some of us take the trip up on the boat up.
So what you could do is you could get the Brahmin, for example.
Mhm.
You could tie the boat to the Brahmin and have the Brahmin tow it up the river to the crossing point, and then use it in combination with the chain to make a better platform for you to be able to transport things
Right.
across.
Okay. How much work do we need on the boat before it's floatable to do that?
You don't think it's going to take an awful lot to make it. You think it's pretty much there. Maybe a little bit of work is going to be needed in order to make it safe to be able to transport stuff. The engine is gone. It's literally the back section of it is broken. It's probably at the bottom of the river, so it's not powered. It is basically a floating platform at this point. But you could very easily, with a relatively easy repair check, get this seaworthy and functional for what you wanted to do.
Okay.
Will it cost any materials?
No, you think it's just patching it up.
Do you want me to make the
No.
repair check?
I'm helping with the repair.
Okay.
Intelligence.
Intelligence repair.
Can I use an action point?
You sure can.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't asking
You
you that.
you should. Let's hope for no 20s though. I'm not gonna say anything again. Sorry, it's kind of my bad, bro.
Okay,
Is that
you
still
can't.
2 successes or
I mean, that's 2 successes, but
Yeah.
also 2
do they net out?
consequences. Well,
Oh.
no, because you've succeeded in what you're doing, but you get 2 consequences in the process of it.
Right.
So you successfully repair the structure of the boat.
Mhm. Okay. Is there anywhere else in the town to search?
No.
Okay. Let's get the boat upstream or downstream to where we left the Brahmin.
Okay. Well, you probably need the Brahmin to tow the boat.
We've got a morgue.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, is Morg around though? Because I think Morg has walked off in the process of this.
All right, we need to go find the morgue.
Morg back for a little bit.
Oh no, oh, Morg is there. Sorry, I thought Morg had walked off for a bit in the process, but that's okay. So if Morg wants to tow the boat, Morg can tow the boat.
Morg can tow the boat. I just need to make rolls pretty quickly because I'm gonna have to go AFK again. So
You don't need to make rolls. That's fine. If you need to go, V.
I
Don't worry about it. We'll just say it happens. That's no problem.
I gotcha. No worries. I don't know when, but just be aware.
No, it's okay. That's understandable. So you in the process of repairing, you were attaching a long rope that you found in the process to the front of the boat. You feed the rope around the outside of the building. You pass it to Morg, and Morg, with his immense strength, pulls the boat out onto the river. And it's hard work keeping the boat because it's fighting against the current. It's actually much easier if Morg goes back a lot further and uses the weight in order to hold it in position, and then basically walks up the river, which is what happens. As it does so, there is some resistance on the boat in the first instance, and as the boat pulls out of the boat dock in the first instance, something floats to the surface from under where the boat was. A really, really horrible smell fills the air. Unfortunately, this is only going to affect 2 members of the party. Can you 2 humans please make a endurance survival roll, please?
Give me a second. Because my browser crashed.
You're the worst at rolling dice, Phil.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe wasn't saying that on a patch his arm up, though, was he?
That's true.
Okay.
I think Jill wasn't saying that when I was patching his arm up.
Joe didn't say that.
Sorry. Fucking misheard that one.
I didn't call you Jill. Don't worry.
I heard
Well,
Jill as well, so I'm not gonna lie.
I guess I'm in the same boat as Ralph.
Okay. Oh.
Uh-oh.
I think it's over.
It's stinky.
Tarkus.
Yeah.
You take 2 points of damage.
Great.
There is a cloud of something unpleasant coming off of whatever's just floated to the surface. It looks rotten. It looks half-eaten. It doesn't look human. There is a large mouth. There is large amounts of matter missing from the side of the thing. There are tentacles on it. You're not entirely sure what this entity is, but this was an organic creature at some point, which is long since rotten. It gives off this cloud of what is effectively poison. You take 2 points of damage. and you are at +1 difficulty to do stuff for until you rest. Phil, you take 3 points of damage from poison, and you're at +3 difficulty to do things until you rest. You're standing really close to it. You get a full lungful of this stuff. It burns you. It burns your throat as you kind of inhale this big cloud of gas. You're left coughing and weakened by the whole thing. You're both left coughing and weakened by it, but you're really badly affected by it, Phil.
Okay.
You quickly kind of stagger out of the boathouse.
Being human in Fallout is so fun.
Prometheus and Joe, a cloud of green gas comes out of this thing, and you're like, okay.
I'm gonna look to see which one's worse off and pick them up and go, right, let's get you some fresh air and get you
I
some.
can probably
Yeah.
find out that it smells bad, but I don't care. I can sense it because I have sensors, but I don't care.
It smells terrible, but it doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form.
I'm like, meh.
Sadly, I'm wanting to
Okay.
say if Morg was around, if he smelled it, he probably would have eaten the decomposing body of the thing.
I think even Morg would have thought twice about eating that.
Especially
That's
the
proper grim.
farts. Yeah.
Rotten Mirelurk.
Morg drags the boat up the river to the. That's right. V, go ahead. Morg drags the boat up the river to where the Brahmin is tied. It's still there. It's basically eaten pretty much all of the foliage around it. There's a sort of circle of death around it where everything has been consumed. But it seems to be intact and perfectly fine.
Oh. I move naturally towards it, and you can kind of hear the buzzsaw, like doing some test rotations.
No, leave it alone.
Come
You
on,
only
Prom.
burn it.
We need
We
the
talked
live.
about we'll be scrapping you for parts that needs to come back alive.
All right, that is not necessary, Joe. All right, Prom understands.
You need it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
It kind of turns one of its heads towards you, looks at you with big watery eyes.
Oh,
It's
is
not
the
for
zombie?
food?
It's not for food.
It makes food.
No, it makes
Ah,
milk and drink. You do not.
Ingredients. Variety
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
Okay, we will unhook Morg and hook up the Brahmin.
Okay.
And tow it back to the crossing.
You tow it back to the crossing without any problems. It's going to take some work to attach the boat to the chain so it doesn't float away and effectively become a platform that you can use to move it backwards and forwards. It's still going to take Morg to drag the boat across the river backwards and forwards with any particular haste.
Can the Brahmin not do it?
How can the Brahmin do it? It doesn't have arms.
If you tie the boat to the Brahmin.
So you put Brahmin on the boat.
Right, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
The idea is whoever's on the boat has to literally drag the chain along because you don't have a way of being able to propel it any other way.
Right.
And the Brahmin can't do that because it doesn't have arms.
Fair enough.
And even if it did, it would probably just look at you like it was stupid anyway. So, okay, so you're going to need to do a repair check to get the boat set up and attached to the chain in some capacity.
I don't think Phil should do that because of the debuff, probably.
Should
Sadly.
I have low intelligence, but I have repair.
Okay, I have 3 repair. I have 9 intelligence. I have like the modifier, the
It's
minus
better.
1.
It's better for if you do it then. I can help.
Okay, can Phil help even though she's kind of
I don't think Phil realistically can help in this situation with this debuff.
All right,
Chris,
so
I've got a multi-tool, which reduces the difficulty repair by 1. at least I can give him the multi-tool, yeah?
Yeah, that could work.
Okay.
And that can help you. So
Yeah. Have we been using it the entire time?
No.
Well, I guess you collapsed at the when we needed the most.
I mean, just roll a 20 and break it.
All right, so I'm using one additional dice, right?
So you're using one additional dice, and your base difficulty is 1 because of the multi-tool reducing it from reducing your
Alright.
buff away.
Can I use an action point as well?
Yep.
So I'll go to 2 additional dice.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna use an action point.
Okay. Don't roll 20s.
Oh my
Well,
god!
you fail on every one of them, but you don't get any consequences.
All right, can I reroll?
You can spend a luck point,
All right, I can only spend like
Or-
two luck points, right?
or the other alternative is you try to do this and you spend half an hour doing this and you just can't get it to work. You could spend another half an hour doing this, make the roll again at +1 difficulty.
May as well
Can I
that,
do the
because
luck
it goes
first?
to-
You could spend a luck point to re-roll one of your dice. Yeah.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, I can still do what
Yes.
you just said. All right.
Yes.
Believe. Just believe.
Okay. Can I roll 1? Wait. Wait, like no, wait. I need to go
Just
to
do
the top,
/R. Just
top
do
left.
/R1.
No, I get
D10.
it. Okay, it's intelligence repair. Oh, thank God.
Okay. All right.
Easy.
You do it. It's not pretty. It's not. It's not sophisticated, but you succeed in attaching the boats to the chain. The boat is no longer going to float off down the river by itself. It is attached, and it can be used in this way now.
Great.
What's next?
I think we head back to the settlement, don't we? Let's put the
yeah.
Brahmin over the.
I
over
think
the-
somebody needs to talk the Brahmin into getting on the boat.
What skill
I'm
is
gonna
that?
go find some grass.
It's going to be speech.
Okay, how about the robots?
I'm
I don't have speech.
Rack. Sorry,
4, 7,
Joe,
12.
right?
I'm gonna spend the point in the pool.
Okay.
All right. We're back at 4. All right.
I get 1
Nice.
success.
And you successfully do so. You coax using a combination of foliage that you're pulling from outside of the area of death that it was standing in. You coax the beast to the edge of the boat. It doesn't seem particularly thrilled about the idea of getting on, but you, with physically pulling at it and tempting it with more food, you manage to get it on the boat itself.
Yeah, man. Game of truth. Come on. On you come.
How many people can fit on the?
You could get all of you could get on this boat and the Brahmin. It's big enough for you to fit a good supply of people on.
Personally, I'm floating next to them.
Yeah, I mean you can.
I don't have to get.
Yeah, you can just hover over the river. It's no problem for you.
Make it burn. I'll burn them and kill them.
Be boiling the river as you go.
Or you can sit on your arms while you're in the boat. You don't need to be firing your jetpacks.
I think if we get the Brahmin on and off the boat, it's back to the settlement.
Okay,
Yeah.
you do so.
And
You
then
get
we
the
go
Brahmin to the other side of the river, and you get back to the settlement. And you can see that the settlement is a hive of activity. You can see several of the settlers are not in the camp itself. Several of them are working on building growing plots. You see John rather sees you as you approach, and he wheels himself around the collapsed radio antenna and heads towards you.
Hey, Limpet are almost joining you in the fucking club.
How do you mean?
Accident with some explosives.
Oh yes, explosives. That's something you probably you either want to be good at or you don't want to be doing it at all.
Oh, I was helping someone who was good at it. Point towards the best boy.
Right. Ralph is going to drop off the carbon filters, the fusion core, and then ask for a bed and go and try to sleep the effects of this poison off before he tries to repair anything or fit anything.
Okay, you can do that. You can go back. You go back to the settlement. You can rest now.
Is there anywhere that is radioactive on this site?
No, otherwise they wouldn't have selected this site.
Right. Well, in that case, then, what state's the generator in?
Non-functional.
Is that only because of the?
Because it doesn't have a
Fusion
fusion core in it. Yeah.
How about we install them?
I'm literally gonna grab the fusion core and go. You coming to go plug this in, or are we waiting for him to sleep it off? In fact, let's wait.
We
for him
could wait, yeah,
Let's
till
wait,
tomorrow.
Let's wait. Let's
Yeah.
do this tomorrow.
Master Tarkus, don't you want to try the key card first?
I think I'll wait till tomorrow. Maybe something opens that is unpleasant in there, so we should be.
It's food. More
Oh.
food.
What if it's made of metal? Can you cook metal?
Almost as well
Sadly
as you can
not.
cook anything else.
All right, just direct me to the kitchen then.
The kitchen of the newly developed settlement. There is a mess hall. It's
Oh,
got some
yeah.
beds in it at the moment. There's people sleeping in it.
I mean, they must have built a cooking station.
There is
at
a
this
camp.
point.
There is a campfire outside in the courtyard.
Excellent. It's where I'll chill.
Okay, and you guys rest. You rest the rest of the day, and the next day the sun comes up on a new day. The ailments that have affected the humans of the group seem to have healed themselves overnight, and you're back up to fighting fit again. What is your plan?
Power first. Let's go
Yeah.
for the fusion generator.
Yeah, power.
Go for the fusion core to the generator.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. The water should be the the easiest one anyway. But the fusion thing is closer to where we are, right? So yeah, might as well.
So yeah, go on.
Sorry, without the fusion core, I think the water doesn't work anyways. So
Yeah,
we should.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, the water purifier is inert without power anyway. So power is kind of the linchpin in this entire operation.
Okay.
Okay, so someone, what are you doing?
I'll fit the fusion core.
Okay, so you take the fusion core and you go to the fusion generator. There is a circular slot in it with like a little blinking LED over the top of it. You slot the fusion core in and you twist it into place. You hear a click. There's a whining sound that kind of picks up. It kind of sputters a couple of times, and then a display comes up on the side of it. It reads out a lot of technical information, and at the bottom it says 11. What is it? The display says charge remaining 11%.
Okay.
It continues to whine and build up, and the lights on outside the facility start to come online. They kind of start off dim and they get brighter and brighter and brighter. A couple of them blow immediately, but the rest of them stay on. You can hear some noise coming from the radio room, like a crackling sound of radio equipment coming on immediately. And then about a second or two after that, you hear a very loud air raid sound. that seems to be coming from multiple locations around the settlement itself. And when I say very loud, I mean incredibly loud. Like everyone's having to put their hands on the side of their head. It's when I say air raid, it starts off very deep and it goes up to a wah, and it continues to occur.
Do you
Okay,
remember where that terminal is?
Say again?
Do you remember where that terminal is?
It was, yeah, you're right. There was a terminal. Where was it?
There is a terminal in the office in the warehouse.
Right. So
Okay.
I'm going to click off the power for now. Yeah. I'll get you to click off the power. We're going to get somebody. We're going to get the computer experts by the terminal. Well, actually, we're going to go meet everyone. Tell them that we're going to turn the power back on. That the signs are probably going to come back on, and then that we're going to go see if we can turn it off at the terminal. However, in the meantime, because we've made a load of noise, probably a good idea to keep a lookout.
You
I
go
can
that?
do
Yep.
that. I can keep watch.
To go to the terminal, don't we need the power to be on?
But you might be able to keep watch, but you can't keep watch across that entire expanse of space that needs watching.
They've got 360 peripheral vision, so if he gets high enough, you'll be able to watch literally the entire camp.
I'll let him climb them.
Is there a guard? There isn't like a guard tower or anything. Is there any point of elevation like in the?
There's buildings here, so you could, if you could get on top of the buildings, you could sit on top of the building and have 360-degree view of the surrounding.
Okay, sure.
If you want to make an agility athletics roll to get on top of the building.
Oh, that's gonna destroy me.
Only wants one success, and you need one success.
Yeah.
Action points? Spend action points?
Can I try to throw him up there?
Probably.
So like I'm helping. I'll give you one
You can
extra
try and help.
dice.
Yeah, extra die for being helped by Tarkus. Yeah, no problem.
I'm like shoving you up there.
Yeah.
Actually, how many?
More can help
points
you
do we
throw you
have?
up there.
4. We have 4 right now.
More can help as well for an additional combat and additional D20.
Please work. I'm gonna need all the help I need.
Roll a 20. With you two helping him underneath a plasma jet that's propelling him along the ground. Roll a 20. Just roll a 20.
I mean, it sounds very Fallout, yeah.
So 2 people are helping me. I mean, fuck it. I'll even throw the action points.
Okay.
We're going.
I'm still gonna fail.
I mean, if he gets them back, like we actually gonna get more action points back if he gets more than one success.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see how this goes.
Prepare to laugh.
Prepare for 20.
Excellent.
Oh,
There you
holy
got one
fuck.
success. That's sufficient. That's sufficient.
Target 4. Made it.
Target 4, you made it. You with the assistance of the other two managed to scrabble your way to the top of the radio building itself, which gives you a much better sight angle. You can see all around the outskirts of the periphery without having to move. This is a really good vantage point for you. Awkward for you to get up, but it's possible for you to be able to see.
I hope it's easier to get down.
It's very easy for you to get down.
Yeah. Basically, use your thrusters to glide down.
Can I overcharge the thrusters for 5 seconds in order to get up?
Well, you can just drop because your thrusters will keep you 3 feet from the ground, so they just work harder when you impact. So from a single story drop, it's not going to cause you any damage.
Excellent.
So what's the plan? You got a robot on the roof.
Who is good with computers?
Awesome.
No, you're not.
Morg.
What's the skill for computers?
Science.
I have 3 science, but it's tagged, and 9 intelligence.
So you stand by the terminal. We'll switch this back on. Yeah. Your job is to kill that air raid siren. Yeah. And then probably the lights, because it's daylight, we don't need them. and we need to conserve power. We've only got about 11% left. So, yeah.
Good call.
What, we're
Okay.
on the fusion core?
Yeah, it's got 11% left.
Oh, Jesus. Can they be recharged?
I don't know. Can they be recharged?
I know.
Right, can you do me a favour and move your mic a little bit closer? I can't quite hear you. You're really quiet.
Can they be recharged?
No, fusion cores can't be recharged.
Right,
Okay.
so that 11% and that's it gone, yeah?
Yes.
All right, let's plug it back in and hopefully Tarkus can power it all down.
Okay. The air raid siren sound kicks up again. When it does, Prometheus, you notice the sound is dramatically louder where you are. And when you're looking around on the overgrown, there's a lot of undergrowth on top of the radio tower. You can see underneath some of the undergrowth, there is this like air raid speaker on top of that. You reckon there's probably multiple of them around the place. The power comes. The power comes up.
Hacker man.
The computer
going
boots
in.
up. Okay, make your science check.
I'll use an action point.
Okay.
Science. Roll additional 1. Okay. Thank God.
Okay.
Do I get an action point back?
You do not.
I have
What
hacker.
does hacker
Does
do?
that help? The difficulty of skill
Oh.
is hacking. I don't know.
Okay. So this is a difficulty 3 check, right?
I'll barely make it.
And you make it off the back of that roll. This
Right.
is military grade encryption. All right. So this would have been really difficult for you to get through, but you managed to do it without any particular difficulty. It takes a different pass when you get into the AdWords and you pressing around on the different combinations, and eventually click, it boots up into the system. You can see there are a number of files on this computer, but they seem to be corrupted. So you get like the first 2 or 3 words of the file, and then it all turns into junk. There is an option at the bottom for toggle alarm.
I'm gonna press that option.
Okay. The air raid sirens die.
Perfect enough.
Thank God. Is there an option for lights?
Nope.
For power?
Nope.
Nothing. So what else do you say there was besides the toggle alarm?
There are a number of files on the computer, like text files on the computer,
All
but
right.
when you go into them, they seem to have been corrupted over time.
So I cannot detect anything from that, like skimming through it. Like it's all like I don't really get anything from them.
It's junk. It's basically the only
Gibberish.
thing the only thing this terminal is useful for is initially for toggling the alarm on and off, but it also has a hollow reader on it, and you could put more files on it if you wanted to.
All right, so we can make new files to write down stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I will share this information with everyone that I can talk to right now.
So we can't do anything about the lights. We've toggled the alarm off. Let's go and sort the water purifier out.
Phil, can you make a intelligence science check, please?
Should I do that?
No, it's just while you're messing around with the computer. If he's at the generator, I just want him to make a science check.
Okay.
So you're while Tarkus is sorting out the alarm, you're fussing at the fusion generator, You think that you have ascertained that at the current rate of power usage, so with whatever is currently being powered by this generator, you've done some analysis of the data that's presented on there, and you reckon this is 11% is good for a month. Like fusion cores will typically last quite a long time.
Can I ask if you needed 2 successes or 1? So, about the action points.
What? Oh yes, you can have an action point back. Yeah, you need 1 success.
Please try to announce the DC before we roll, so we know to do action points or not, if you can.
So how about we do it this way? It's difficulty 1 unless I say otherwise.
All right, cool. I mean, I'm gonna stick to that, so I don't have to ask you every time.
No, that's fine.
So,
That's
right.
absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine.
If the action points are group action points, then Pieetrr, are
Yes.
you nominating yourself to look after the action points? Yeah.
It would be helpful if somebody pays
I'm on
attention to
it. I am 100%
perfect.
on it. We have 3 right now.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Okay. Okay.
water purifier.
Okay. If I see people doing a final check, and then I'm dropping off the roof and following them.
Yeah, no problem. You didn't see anything around the periphery. Really loud though. That siren was incredibly loud. You think that was probably you? You could hear that from quite a way away. Okay, so you drop down, no problem at all, and you head to the water purifier.
I'm heading there too.
So here at Hum, the carbon filter is the thing you need to replace in order to make it work properly. So this is going to be a repair check, and it's going to require 3 successes. So 2 difficulty.
2 people helping. And you'll spend an action point.
Okay, so it's 3 extra dice. So it's 5 Gs, 1 more than you.
You need more 2. Sorry. So I could get 1. So you used 1, so we get it back basically. All right.
Perfect. So it's a fiddlier job than you thought it was going to be in the first instance. It isn't just a case of open the door, take the thing out, and put a new one in. It's integrated further in and in a more complicated manner than you first imagined. But with assistance and with time, you work the old filter out. Part of the reason why it was difficult to get out in the first place is because the old filter had degraded into the machine itself. So extracting it was actually the biggest problem. And takes up most of the time. But by the time you get it out, you can just slot the next one, the new one in place perfectly happily. You close up the door and you hear a gurgling sound, and the water purifier is now working perfectly.
Awesome.
When you open the valve, pure fresh water pours out of the water purifier.
How does that work? Is it like as long as the power works, there's clean water, or is like the water purifier keeps purifying water the entire time? There's like a tank of purified water.
There is a tank of purified water. It fills a tank up with water. It then passes that through the filter and then fills a second tank with purified water. It will provide 10 water. Plus 10 water.
Cool.
Which is enough for the population of the town by itself.
Okay, so we have fixed the water purifier.
Yeah.
We fixed the fusion generator.
Yeah.
We can't fix the radio because we need the antenna fixed, and for the antenna fixed, we need steel beams.
You could hear the radio kicking in when the power came on.
Go and have a look.
I'm coming too.
Following them as well.
Ba, ba, ba. Okay. The radio room is quite. There's a lot of fairly sophisticated equipment in here, but it basically boils down to most of the equipment pertains to the longer range antenna, which is damaged outside. There is a broadcast and receiving station, which is online, and you can hear it. You can hear it crackling. We can hear the interference on it immediately. You can tune it. You can broadcast to whatever channel it happens to be set to. What do you want to do? What's the plan?
I think we need to talk to Joe. Not Joe. Sorry.
Joan?
John. Because
Yeah.
ultimately, it's what he wants to do. I don't know if he wants to switch it off until we're better prepared, or if he wants to start trying to tune it in and hear any gossip. I'm guessing there's no long range or short range radar or any way of detecting anything. Was that all part of the antenna?
It's that any more sophisticated functions will be part of the antenna itself. What you've effectively got is a short to medium range transmitter receiver.
Right, okay. So I guess it's what John wants to do with it, and if he's got someone in the town he can put on this.
Okay, so I mean, John is he's fussing around, helping people, setting things up, and talking to people, and keeping everyone's spirits up. Although everyone seems to be quite buoyed by the stuff that you've brought back, they're thrilled at the fact that you've brought Brahmin back. They're sorting through the materials that you've brought back into the warehouse and putting things away and organizing it so it's easy to find. And he's kind of like helping people with that, keeping notes of things and keeping everyone jolly. When you go over to him, his entire attention is on you. Big smile on his face.
I have a question for you. How far is that forest that we found by the river?
How far is that forest you found by the river?
The one that we cut down a couple of trees for materials for the initial boat.
Oh, it's like 10 minutes walk from here.
Okay, and how much materials from that forest will we need to drag up here to finish one part of that wall? The smallest part of the external wall?
A lot.
Okay, cool. Done.
We need 64 scrap for a full repair of the fences.
But you've got 270 that you've brought back.
Yeah.
To complete the wall, it's going to take a lot of materials.
I'm literally after like a back wall, so we're only defending 3 points initially at some point.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm aiming at. Do one bit at a time.
Yeah.
Narrow down the convention of where you're fighting.
So, because I'm a bit lost, we said we need 64 scrap to finish the fences,
Yes.
but we brought 296 back.
Yes.
So can we not just finish the fences?
Yes.
Right.
It
Before
takes
we do that,
time is the thing that's the problem for you at the moment.
yeah.
Oh,
Can't the
see, we use
settlers
action points.
work on that?
You can start working on that. Yeah. So the way it works is you've got
No. He asked if the settlers can work on that.
yes, that's exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works. So basically, each day, a settler can do a thing. Each day, a settler can do 8 tiles worth of wall.
Right. So 8 days gets us at 64.
If you only want them to be dedicated to building walls, yes, but that means they're also not producing food, and they're not doing anything else. So the back wall, if you just want to do the back wall, there's 6 tiles, 7 tiles rather that need to be done. So you could do them all in one day by allocating 7 of the settlers to doing it. You guys also count as workers, so you could spend a day working on it as well.
I mean, I can work during nighttime.
It still counts as the same thing. It still counts as the same thing. So you could, if if 5 of you did worked on it and 2 of the settlers, you could get that back wall finished in a day.
Okay. Happy to do that, but one thing I want to do before that is check this door that we can't get into with the key card that Tarkus found.
Okay.
I
Did
just
you want to
wanna
speak to
say-
John? Sorry, Peter. go on.
Okay. Okay, so I just want to like to say this before we move on. Like before we focus on like spending days on the settlement and building, maybe we need to find like a sure way to get food, because we might run out of food. Like, do the settlers like scavenging for food cover the entire needs?
Do the food production. If they're scavenging, yes.
Oh, so we could potentially like, just stay there and build while they're scavenging for food.
Basically, they can go out and scavenge for food, but yes, they could do that. That's not a problem. So you could have one person working on the planter that they've put into place. I think you provided them with enough materials to be able to grow razor grain, right?
Yes.
Right. So they can produce 4 food from that, and they'll be able to produce about 5 or 6 from scavenging. But that means they're all allocated to food production.
All right. Can we build a a weapon workbench or something like these benches? Like, are they buildable from us? No.
The only one you can make is a cooking workstation. You have to find a workbench. If you find a workbench in the world, you can move it back here if you wanted to.
Right,
think-
guys, with all due respect, it is 20 past 10.
All right.
And I'm getting to the point where I'm crashing. So
Alright.
I'm going to bow out.
Okay.
I'm knackered
We
from
stop it
work.
there, Chris?
We can stop
we-
here.
Can stop it
You can-
there.
you
I
can
would
continue
like.
on without me.
I would like to know if what you're planning on talking to John about, with regard to how you want to proceed.
I think all we want to do is tell John that we've got the radio working at short range only. If it's going to be kept on, it needs somebody to man it in case anyone tries to make contact. It can't
Okay.
be us. We've got other stuff to do.
Okay.
Or
Well,
we can
John
switch it off.
John can do that.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that figures.
That's fine.
Okay.
Good.
Right.
Good. Okay. Well, that would be another quest completed.
Cool.
So you guys can go up a level, gain a hit point, gain something else. What was the other thing? Gain a hit point, gain a.
Yep.
Actually, do the level. It should automatically add the hit point. Yeah, it does automatically do the hit point. So you should be level 4. Takes problems.